Hello, everybody. So today I want to talk about the actual structure, the vision of what we're doing. Um, and I want to try to keep it as concise as I can. And maybe have Bree draw up some things to visualize what I'm talking about. So the idea is to bring a location. And that is important because Bree and I, we've been circling around the earth and connecting and building tribe and connection and community all around the planet, which is beautiful. And that it's not that we don't want to do that anymore, but our guidance right now is very strongly in times that are as crazy and confused and polarizing as the times we are living in right now, and that we should put like it's like a flag put in the ground and create a physical location for building a new earth, really. So this looks like right now in Tennessee, we are opening up to any size of land, really. I can see this becoming very big eventually. So it would be nice to already start out with a few thousand acres, but it could also just start out with a couple acres, no? And we're just doing the whole thing very small, and then we will get bigger land later on. I would say ideally we would start with something that's at least 50 or 100 acres, so we can build some structures on it, but not like if you have only 2 acres or so, you probably have to, if you have like say 10 families living on it, almost the structures will take up all the space. And I would love to have the structures take up the 2 acres and then have like 50, 100 acres of open space, that we can utilize for just having spaciousness around. And you could go in there for hikes and runs, and you could maybe create a little ceremonial space somewhere in the woods, or you can go for a vision quest or whatever you want to do. Anyway, so the core of this village, and I call it village or center a lot of the time, because I love the village aspect of people living together communally, but not being a commune where you all live in one house and maybe melt together too much, too fast. But we would all have like our own structures that we live in. At the same time, these structures, how I see it, and that's also the people that I want to call in, that are open to living very close to each other. It could even be clusters of like triplexes or something, no? Where you, when you're in your house, you have your privacy, you're alone, you can retreat and do whatever. But as soon as you come out, you're very likely, to meet one of the neighbors. Like one of my favorite things is just to go out of the house, when I feel like it, and throw the frisbee with our neighbor who happens to be on the front porch or something. No? Then somebody else comes out. Or you have a slack line out there and you go over, and then a bunch of people gather around the slack line. So it's just like a great opportunity to gather. There's like invitations all over the place to gather in community. Like not necessarily as the whole community, but parts of it. Like if you're attracted, if you're drawn to the slack line, well, then that's where you go over. If somebody's hanging out with the guitar in the backyard, well, maybe you want to bring your drum and hang out, or somebody comes in and sing. And like I say, we have done a lot of that already, traveling around. That kind of community is very familiar to us, and the beauty of it, the choice of hanging in the house and being all private, or you go out and you're being all communal. So just the choice is what I really enjoy in this communal living. So we would have a core team, and the core team I see would probably consist of like, and I call them units, so it could be a family or it could be a single person or a couple, So I would have like 5 to 10 units probably live in there, and they all have their own structure, but they are all close together with beautiful spaces in between where you can walk and maybe plant some gardens close to the houses. And the importance for this core team would be that they have or that they are pure. You know, that there's like pure energy. And with that, I mean as little as possible identity pulling them out or having them have to prove something or having them to have convince or defend or from a place of non-alignment. No? Identity, there's nothing wrong with it, and I want people to keep playing around with identity. It's beautiful. No? Is that identity is that which we put out for other people to believe that's who we are. Well, the identity is like you're on stage pretty much. You're playing a character, no? Which is great, no? It's super fun. And at the end of the day, you want to come back to some sort of purity of like, I am not that which I'm acting. No? Like if Brad Pitt goes home and thinks he's like Superman, you know, it's not what it is. No, like he's just a human being like everybody else too. And this is kind of like with your identity too. If you stay in your identity and you just act 24/7, it's very hard to create anything pure and sacred. Yeah. So the core team would have to be people that can totally put their identity, their role, their definition of who they are aside and open up to the cosmic flow. Because that's usually how, at least me and many people that I know that function that way, that's how we get guidance. You know? That's how we can connect most easily in a state of pureness, no? Or purity. Pureness, that might be a new word creation, but it's also okay. So there's this core team that comes from a place of purity, and I might have like another little short video about what I like to go more into detail about the purity aspect. So there's nothing wrong with it, you know, like if somebody it doesn't have that, you know, it doesn't mean better or worse or closer to enlightenment, but there are people that are way more open. They have, when you meet them every day, you know, you're just like, wow, these people seem more pure, and then it's way easier to be in service when you're pure, you know, coming from a place of purity. You know? It's way easier for you to live in community because you don't have to defend your identity 24/7. So that's all. No better or worse, but to hold this space of community first, we would need people that are familiar with that principle and are very open, and there's an aspect of humble too, and very willing to and committed to showing up as they are and finding out every day more about what else is alive in me that is not necessarily who I think I am or other people think I am, but there's so much more living in me, you know? And then after that, there's even like the pure, the channel is here. The easier the divine or the cosmic force and intelligence can move through us, and that's really what I want, you know, because the cosmic intelligence has, you know, it connects with everything and everybody. You know, it's not just like what I work from my confined being. And angle here right now. So we have this core group, and then around that I would say we have openings for, and that's also what I know, there's lots of people right now also circling the globe that really also want to be in service, and that's me too. And it doesn't matter where or what or how much I get paid, but it's just like I want to feel being in service of something that I really, really believe in, something that really resonates with me. So I want to open this up to a world community of woofers or workawayers. And there's so many highly skilled and beautiful people in that tribe of workawayers and woofers, and I want to invite them in, like maybe build some kind of permaculture, whatever they're interested in, whatever they are most excited about. Bring what you're most excited about in there. So we would have some structures for them, or they can camp out or whatever it is, and we would take care of them. They would be part of the community for the time that they stay. Or maybe they just bring play in. Maybe they're just like, we know so many people that are into acrobatics or fire spinning, or all this stuff, the forms of play that are available right now. So I want to open it up to those people. And then there would be another element of like, we'd have like a center structure that would include like an industrial kitchen. We cook for the community, and then space where the community can eat together. Not that we have all to do that all the time. We all have like little kitchens in our homes too, but there's like that invitation there. I would say maybe all the time, maybe just some of the time, and then maybe in that structure there could also be space where you can do yoga, meditation, play music, do some arts, have the kids play. Maybe you hang some socks from the ceiling and you do some silks, whatever it is. It's like it's wide open. And I imagine, I am not setting this up, but the people that are resonating, that are drawn in, they are bringing all the different aspects to what this center consists of. So I'm being informed while this is being created. Or we are all being informed. And this is a different approach. It's a little different than mainstream, that have to know first where this is going, and then they do everything on like a linear trajectory to get there. This is going to be more of a non-linear approach to building this, which is open because of the non-linear aspect. It opens up to the divine. This is just what happens. Like when we like. Linear is more from identity and from me centered, which is cool. Oh, this is great. And we might use some elements of that for the creation of the center. But at the core, there's an opening to the intelligence of the all. And this only happens if we don't put our direction on it specifically. This is how it has to look like. But we are in service of an energy that can express itself in many different ways. So every one of us brings a certain aspect of this to the table. So again, this community is centered around a round table where everyone brings their specific contribution and their gift to the community. And we look at all the gifts that are sitting on the table, and then we'll work from there. Yeah? So we don't want anybody to like squeeze themselves in a box where they're way too tight, like we do in our regular life here. We want people to come from a place of like, wow, this is what I'm like most inspired. This makes me feel so alive, to do this, to bring this into community. Yeah, I just want to do permaculture. Oh my God, or I just want to work in the garden, or I just want to do yoga, like I want to teach yoga, or I want to take the kids out in the woods and then have them experience a whole different world than their screens, or the adults out in the woods and have them get away from the world of screens and consumption. So there's so many ways, there's so many gifts and so many elements how we can serve this community, and that's very exciting. And then finally, the third stage or aspect of it, and that's also the one that could generate the physical means, the money, let's say, or the energy to keep this center working. And that would be, we're building structures for people who are totally attracted and turned on by this lifestyle that we are creating, because it's really a lifestyle. It's not a modality, but it's like how we show up in this world. We are already, instead of teaching it or talking about, we are living the way I perceive the world going. So we are already living the next step in our journey on this world, no? So which is amazing. Like so we can offer immersion, which means we're not coming from a place of wouldn't it be nice, or one should do this and that and check these boxes to get there, but we're inviting people into a space, like it's like a temple space in which, through living a life in community and in purity, and in a non-linear kind of way, that will attract, I could see like a shit ton of people, but we don't even have to go there yet, but it will attract some people, and they really would want to know what this is about. Maybe some want to read a book about it, but some really might want to, or will want to, be part of that, at least for a week or something. So we would rent out these structures. We wouldn't call it a retreat. We wouldn't put on a show for these people to experience something, but we would just keep on living our lives and invite them into our lives to be part of that for a week. Of course, there has to be some kind of screening process before we invite these people. But the way I can sense this, it would be, we would have to tell a lot of people we don't have the space right now to let you in, because the demand is going to be so high. People want to do that, no? And this is also something we have heard many times with our lifestyle, no? Of an open lifestyle where community first, relationship first, no? Deepen your spiritual practices. No? What does it mean really to be spiritual? No? To be connected with yourself. How can you purify yourself? No? How can you be in connection with other people, in relationship with other people, where you use maybe a colliding vision or a colliding point of view, a polarity? Where can you use this polarity to actually fuel? Where can you transform this from wanting to fight each other into like working together and amplifying the energy and fuel the whole process? No? People are interested in this stuff. You can research that if you don't believe me, But it's a thing, People want to know about this. So we are inviting these people into the space, and from right now, I'm sitting here. I would look at it as this is based on gifting, and all these aspects that I'm mentioning here, I want to go deeper in like maybe in separate videos. But a gifting community, it is already working. It's kind of like Burning Man or so. Again, it's like about contribution. And while there might be people coming that don't have the means, but they really, really want to be there, great, no? And there might be people that have like a ton of means right now. They really want that, and to them, they're like, oh my God, we want to support that so bad. This is the coolest thing ever. And you could get 1 million or whatever, or you could get $3. It doesn't matter at the end. We are not going to push people and squeeze people to pay a certain amount. But the way I see it, and already in my own personal life with our High on Life School, it was that way. We did some of the work on gifting grounds, and it works wonderfully. So this is the big picture. And from that big picture, I will scale it down into smaller chunks, so you can maybe find out more about the gifting community, about free flow and purity and all that. All right, that should be enough for now. All right, much love.